Fully in crisis mode. Hennepin Healthcare sees leadership shakeup as its finances deteriorate. On January 26th, the system announced the first round of closures and reductions, which will impact 5 programs and about 100 employees. Hopefully you guys aren't being served by these guys and need an ambulance. Hemp Healthcare is reeling from a wave of leadership changes as multiple top executives exit or are placed on unpaid leave, amid what sources describe as an ongoing investigation into the possible misuse of company funds. So away from saving lives and towards DEI? Meanwhile, the health system is cutting programs and positions as it stares down a dire financial position. Hennepin Healthcare announced that Chief Financial Officer Lisa Anderson has stepped down from her role. An internal Hennepin Healthcare newsletter dated January 29th also stated that Chief Health Equity Officer Neka Cederstrom and Vice President of Health Equity Tali Vang are no longer with the organization, and their roles are being restructured. No, it should be eliminated. Their roles are being eliminated. Hennepin County spokesperson previously confirmed that Cederstrom and Vang have been placed on unpaid leave. So they're pretty much fired in everything but name. Additionally, sources tell Alpha News, great name for a site, by the way, there's ongoing investigation of possible use of company credit cards for personal expenses. Hennepin Healthcare would not say whether leadership changes are connected to that investigation. They probably are, because these diversity hires are often pretty fucking entitled. I earned the use of this company card. Hennepin Healthcare takes its responsibility to steward public resources seriously. Well, maybe now you do, now that you realize you've been caught. Has conducted a thorough audit of the organization's purchasing card use. A spokesperson said in a statement to Alpha News on December 5th, current year -1, Hennepin Healthcare suspended all use of P cards pending results of the audit. We're taking appropriate actions due to the active nature of the investigation. We're unable to give further details at this time. That actually makes sense, that they're not going to comment on a pending investigation, especially if it leads to a lawsuit. An internal email sent to Hennepin Healthcare employees last month paints a stark picture of the system's financial condition, which is, spoiler alert, not good. Warning that cash reserves are found so low, the hospital is forced to rely on a county line of credits to make payroll. Why don't you hire more diverse staff? I hear that leads to more profits. For months, cash on hand has hovered at around zero, and in early January, the system's cash position went negative, requiring the use of a county line of credits to meet payroll. So they have nothing, they have no money saved up. They've blown through all that, and their cash flow is negative. They're spending more money than they're bringing in. More diversity would fix this. The message titled "Our Financial Reality and How We Move Forward Together" was sent to employees as leadership acknowledged the severity of the situation and signaled immediate cost-cutting measures. Yeah, how we move forward together is a funny way to say you guys are being fired so we can keep our jobs. Like, let's be honest, that's what this is. But some people should be fired. The leering must flow. You think they're going to leer anything from this? We are now fully in crisis mode and must act decisively. The memo says the hospital can no longer rely on the county as a financial backstop and must move quickly to reduce expenses, warning that the system faces at least a $50 million shortfall by the end of March. Leadership also cautioned that future Medicaid reimbursement reductions could further strain finances beginning in current year +1. To continue operating, we must identify at least $50 million in savings during the first quarter of current year. The future is at risk in this moment. Our employees are told to expect rapid changes while leadership acknowledged past failures in financial oversight. Writing had not acted prudently and pledged a greater accountability moving forward. So all diversity hires are about to get gone. All of these useless departments and all of this bloat, gone. Yeah, these regards will never leer. Well, even if they never leer, hopefully at least they will be pushed out so competent people can take over. If you refuse to leer, we'll replace you with someone who is capable of leering. On January 26th, the system announced the first round of closures and reductions, which will impact 5 programs and around 100 employees. All right, now we're getting to the good part. Prior concerns raised over health equity and DEI training. Hey, why are we spending like $3,000 a person for this fucking grievance studies bullshit? Recent leadership departures come amid concerns about the direction of Hennepin Healthcare's health equity efforts. Those concerns have surfaced previously, including from a longtime employee, said the organization has become increasingly focused on race and DEI ideology. A veteran employee who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation, because of course that's how the kind and tolerant left operates. They always destroy you in retaliation when you expose them. Such tolerance, much wow. I spoke with Liz Collin about the hospital's DEI training. Yeah, and they added belonging, like we knew they would. They always add belonging to this now because now that DEI has been banned effectively, they just rename it to belonging. Now, the employee identified as Frank said Hennepin Healthcare has become a workplace obsessed with race and DEI and not making money. He pointed to the system's training, which asserts that without DEI, there cannot be health equity. And it's not a good thing anyway, so just get rid of it. Frank stated that in the more than 25 years he's worked there, nobody's ever said, hey, this person's this ethnicity, let's not take care of them. I've been seeing that. I've never seen that all the years I've been here, but the employer, Hennepin Healthcare as an organization, has become absolutely obsessed with race and ethnicity. I hope it's worth it. Yeah, you're not going to have a hospital anymore. The community's going to suffer because of it. But at least you were a very diverse dumpster fire. Is it worth it? Frank said much of the training is subjective and leaves little room for disagreement. A lot of this is subjective opinion. You know, when it comes to microaggressions and white privilege and all this, it's none of that is objective fact. It's all subjective opinion. But you are expected to agree with it. Yeah, it's brainwashing. That's what this is. He also described the emotional toll the training has taken on staff. It's really disappointing. It's discouraging. It's heartbreaking. You spend all these years going to work and focused on taking care of people, taking care of patients, keeping people safe, trying to make people feel better, doing everything you can to be more helpful. At the end of the day, your employer thinks you're evil because of your ethnicity or your race. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that makes you switch to just paycheck milking mode. Alpha News previously reported that Hennepin Healthcare's Health Equity Compass program describes its mission as making an organization anti-racist in response to questions at the time. Hennepin Healthcare affirms is committed to creating a safe, inclusive environment for all, except for white people. Our health equity and racism trainings are developed with this goal in mind. We continue to deepen our commitment to health equity and embrace principles of racism and, other words for racism like DEI. And now you don't have the money anymore. You've ran out of white people's money to keep funding this white hatred. Yeah, leering student first 100 people dead. Yeah, this point, I don't know what's going to happen here, really. When something like a hospital is in trouble, either another medical organization usually steps in or the government keeps them afloat because communities need their hospitals. But they're definitely going to be put on a much tighter budget. So they're not going to be able to have all the useless bloat there anymore.